Hello everyone. In this section of the Windows 11 course, we will see how to use the task manager. If I want to activate the task manager, I have to right click on the taskbar. If I click on the task manager panel will open. You can see there are multiple options on the left side of the task manager window. If I click on the icon over here, this is the breadcrumb icon. If I click on this icon, you will see all the items listed on the left side. If I click on processes, it will display the processes for the application, the processes which are used by the background, and also the processes for the Windows. So these are the application processes which are being used, and these are the background processes which are being used. And if you come down, you can also see there are processes which are used by the Windows operating system. If I maximize, then you should be able to see the process name and all the information about the application. So if I click on the application itself, you can see which application is using the CPU memory. Everything will be listed here. And for the background processes, you can click on the background process, and also for the background process you can see what is the CPU memory and disk usage. And if you come down for the Windows processes, you can also see the disk CPU memory usage for the Windows process. If I click on the performance, you can see it is going to show the performance of the CPU, performance of memory, performance of disk, and even for the performance of the disk, and even for the performance of the Ethernet. If you have multiple Ethernet network or LAN card, everything will be displayed here under the Ethernet. So we have the performance for CPU, memory, disk, and for the network. If you click on app history, you will see the history of the application. So it is going to list the entire details of the application history. If you want to delete the usage, the application history usage, you can always click on the delete usage history. You can see the resource usage since when it has been capturing. And if you delete usage history, everything will be deleted. Some of the application will be started up when the Windows operating system boots up. So you can see what are the application which is getting started up during the Windows operating system boot process. There is all these application which will get started up during the boot process. So some of the application you might not require or you might not use. You can actually disable those application which you don't want. So here I can see what are the application which has been enabled. If I don't use Teams, then I can disable that. And if I don't use mobile devices, also if I have not signed in to OneDrive, I can disable that. If you are using any of these applications like OneDrive, you can always come here and enable it so that this application will be started during the Windows boot. And if you click on the users, you can see how many users who has been logged in and what are the processes which are being consumed by the user. And also for each of the processes which are consumed by the user, it is going to list and show the usage of the CPU, memory, disk, and network for that particular user. So it is a good point to check which user has been logged in and what is the resources which are being consumed by the user. And if you click on details, you can see the services. These are the list of services and the process ID for each of the services and the status. If you select the username, if you click on the username here, you can also see which user is running these services. So some of the services are run by local user who is logged into the computer, and some of the services are owned by the system itself. So these are the system run services like svc host.exe, and some of the services are owned by network service. Some of the services are run by local service. So details will give all the services which are running and its process ID and the status of the process and which user is running those processes or services. You can also see the CPU usage, the memory usage, the architecture, and also the description here. If you don't understand the service name, so if this is the service name and if you wanted to know more information about the services, you can select the description here. And if you come to the description, you can see which service and what is it description. Some of the services you should not stop. Some of the services which are owned by the user. So let us see if some of the services which are owned by the user, and if you want to kill those services, you can right click and you can say end task or end process tree. It will kill the entire processes. If I kill the entire process tree, the OneDrive process tree will be killed, and this particular process is killed. It gets started when the Windows operating system boots up. If I click on services, all the services are listed here, and you can also see the process ID. Some of the services are stopped, some of the services will be manually run, some of the services are automatically started when the Windows starts. You can also expand this to understand the services and its description. So this was about Task Manager. I will see you in the next video.